Hey guys, we got a few reasons to celebrate today. First of all, today is my birthday. So, thank you guys for giving me the support long enough to be able to keep doing this show. I love doing this show, and this is the second birthday I had since I started Tech Talk. It was called Tech Stuff before, but same show, same concept, same person, same host. But I really love doing this show, and I'm glad I get to do a show, an episode on my birthday, first of all, and second of all, I love doing the show, like I said, and I'm glad that you guys like this enough to watch it, time after time, so thank you. Also, on the lines of thanking you guys, my channel recently passed 100 subscribers, and I'm actually at about 113 right now, if I'm not mistaken. And that is in huge thanks to OS First Timer. They're a channel where this guy has his mom, and now he's starting to have his dad try out different operating systems. I'll link their channel in the description. It's very, very interesting. It's very cool. And you get to learn about different operating systems, which I love. I love their show. I've seen every episode. And they had a contest where you could submit a 90-second video, and they would put it in a video where they compiled like the 20 best. They did 10 finalists and 10 runner-ups, and I was actually a runner-up. So I got to be in their video, and enough of you guys saw my ad that I submitted and wanted to come check out my channel and subscribe to me. So thank you very much. I very much do appreciate that, and I'm going to keep making videos. Speaking of videos, and speaking of 2 birthdays since I started, I actually started on June 27th, 2013. So that means that about 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, whatever it was, to June 27th, 2014, that was my 1-year anniversary of this show. So thank you. I know I say thank you a lot, but thank you for supporting me that long, for over a year, and my channel's growing, and I know it's going to keep growing faster and faster. So again, not to sound like a broken record, but thank you guys. Your support means a lot to me. And just thank you. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Alright, that's enough of the mushy gooey stuff. Windows is a great operating system. It's been in existence for actually in about a year. So next year, it will be the 30-year anniversary of Windows. So over the past 29 years, Microsoft has had quite a few versions of Windows, and some better than others. So these are the top 5 best versions of Windows. Now, these are not in any particular order because there are lots of ways I could sort these. I could sort them by customer acceptance. I could sort them by my personal preference. I could sort them by their influence on the future of Windows. I could sort them by, there are all kinds of stuff. I could sort them by sales, just how quickly they got to 1 million users. There are just so many different ways I could sort it. So it's not going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going to be, just this is one of the 5, this is another one of the 5. They're not in any particular order. That's just my disclaimer. But anyways, let's get on with it. I'm actually going to sort them by chronological order. So they're not in any, they're in that they're in an order in that sense. But they're not in order of, this is the best, this is the worst, that type of thing. So, Windows 3.1. This is on the list because it did kind of introduce icons to Windows. And that's the biggest thing really that it did, was it got away from the text. If you look at Windows 1.0, you'll see that it's just basically text. You just click on text. It's really not much different from DOS. In fact, it was advertised as a graphical extension of DOS. You just click on the commands instead of typing them, and it sucked, to be honest. It just sucked, and that's why Mac was so popular in the beginning. And Windows has changed a lot since then, and the first step to doing that was in Windows 3.1, or 3.0, whichever one. Went 3.0, I believe, introducing the icons. Windows 3, the 3.x series, was followed by Windows 95. This was released in 1995, and it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. First of all, this is the most influential version of Windows. I'm going to say right now, I'm pretty sure it's a fact. That's my opinion, I strongly feel that way. But I'm sure it's a fact too, because Windows 95 introduced the right click, the start menu, the start button, the taskbar. And if you look at Windows 8.1, it looks very similar to Windows 95. There's the start button in the lower left corner. There's a clock in the lower right corner. That's another thing. There wasn't a clock. There was a clock, but it wasn't in the lower right corner of the screen. You had to open the clock application to get a clock to show in the old days of Windows. So Windows 95 was fantastic, introduced lots of things that influenced the future of Windows, and it was easy to use. And it had the minimize, maximize, and close buttons for the first time in the upper right corner of every single window. So Windows 95 is fantastic. Windows 95 was followed 3 years later by Windows 98. This looked and operated basically the same as Windows 95. It just had some security improvements, but it did introduce one other thing that lasted in Windows, not to this day. It's actually been merged to create something better. It's been merged with something else, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the Quick Launch Bar was in Windows from Windows 98 through Windows Vista. So Windows 7 was the first version to not have it. So basically the lifespan of the Quick Launch Bar was 1998 to 2009. Because 7 was released in 2009 and it cut the Quick Launch Bar. Basically the concept of the Quick Launch Bar is it's a little toolbar on the taskbar. Lots of bars in this one. Hopefully we don't get drunk. But it was a bar on the taskbar and you pin programs to the Quick Launch Bar and you click it and it launches. You don't have to go sifting through the start menu. You don't have to click the icon on the desktop. It's just right there on the taskbar. You just click it and it opens. If we skip a few versions to Windows XP, we get to Windows XP. Windows XP was a great version of Windows. It brought color to Windows. Windows was colorful. Green start button, blue taskbar, blue window borders, red close button. But this is all default, of course. There are settings to change these colors, but it was very colorful. And the start menu was redesigned, made it easier to use Windows, and it made more sense. And Windows XP was a favorite among many, and that's why everybody threw a fit when it went end of life. But it is end of life now, so don't get Windows XP because you'll get some sort of virus. But Windows XP is a favorite among millions, and everybody loves it, and a lot of people used it till the end of life, and a lot of people are still using it now. Alright, if we skip Windows Vista, we go to Windows 7, which was released in 2009, and this is where the merging of the Quick Launch Bar and actually the taskbar itself happened. So that's what I talked about before. Instead of a Quick Launch Bar, Windows 7's taskbar is taller, and you just pin programs right to the taskbar. And it's great. Microsoft merged this. Windows 7 is the first one to have it, and it's lasted, and it's still going to last. It's lasted in Windows 8, 8.1, the update to Windows 8.1, and the next version of Windows, since Microsoft showed us a screenshot of it, it's still existing. So it's great. It works perfectly, and Microsoft did a great job designing it. So Windows has had a lot of versions. These are 5 of the best, in my opinion. I think I have pretty good reasons for why they're the best. Alright guys, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for 100 subscribers and all of your support. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the links in the corner of your screen. I'm Joe Green, and I will see you on Monday.